I'm Shelly from Coral & Co. And today I'm going to be showing you how to chain piece quilt blocks. If you are new to quilting, chain piecing is a great time-saving way to quickly piece together your quilt top and help keep you so organized. So join me as we learn how to chain piece quilt blocks. Chain piecing can be used to piece together both quilt blocks and quilt rows. Today, we're going to be learning how to chain piece our quilt top rows. You're going to love how fast your quilt top comes together. Are you ready to get started? Let's go. All right, so we are going to be starting with a mini charm pack. Although you can use whatever type of blocks or charm packs that you would like to start piecing your quilt top together. So to start with, we are going to take our mini charm pack and we are simply going to lay it out in the pattern that we want to make the quilt. Now that we have our quilt top laid out in its final design, we are going to take the first block and we are going to sew it to the second block. Then we are going to take the second row of the first column and we're going to add its neighbor to the second block of the first row. We're going to continue going all the way down our row. So we have our third row and we're going to take its neighbor and we're going to put it together. We're going to continue doing this all the way down. And now we are going to start sewing and we're going to start at the top and we are going to be sewing all the way down. So to keep everything in order, I like to take my first and I like to stack them on top of each other and they're already made. And now we get started sewing. We are going to start at the top and we are going to start sewing these little squares and watch and see how fast this goes. So now that the first two blocks are sewn, there's a long little column here of the very first two blocks in each row. So we're going to start adding the third block, which is going to be the third column of the stack. And so we are going to go ahead and we're going to stack all of our pieces from the top to the bottom. I like to keep the top one on top and the bottom one on the bottom. And this helps keep us organized. All right, you ready? This is gonna go super fast. And now we're gonna take our little stack and we are gonna start adding them to our columns on our rows, okay? So we're gonna make a third column on each row. So we're gonna simply fold it over and sew away again. Now remember, we are not going to cut any threads until we're all the way done with the column. Now we get to lift the presser foot, trim the thread, and as you can see, we have 3 columns, right? So we are going to go ahead and we're going to finish the last 2 columns. So we are going to stack each of the columns from top to the bottom. Remember, we're working left to right. So we're going to stack all of these. Our 4th column and this is going to be our 5th column. This method is really great because you can just leave this all at the sewing machine. You don't have to go back to the cutting table. You don't have to go back to the design wall. You don't have to trim. You don't have to press in between. You just get to add blocks and sew. So here we go. We're going to finish the 4th and 5th columns. And ta-da, we've chain pieced our quilt top. So now What we're going to want to do is we are going to want to snip these little threads in between, and we're going to separate all of our rows. After we separate our rows, we are going to press the odd rows 1, 3, and 5 to the right. Then we're going to press all of the even rows 2, 4, 6 to the left. And we're going to nest those seams nice and tight together and sew together our rows. Thank you guys so much for sewing along with me and learning to make our chain piece quilt blocks. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up. Also, leave me a comment and tell me what other sewing and quilting tutorials you'd like to see, or what you plan to do with your chain stitch quilt blocks. I had fun sewing with you, and I'll see you next time.